Here we go, session number 2. Top dragster. Jacob Elrod left side. The 06 American. Right lane, Howard Michael. Newport, Michigan, the 07 Diamond dragster. Stock eliminator, we need your lanes 5 and 6, please. Stock eliminator, lanes 5 and 6. So once again, Hot Rod, we'll take you now. Hot Rod, we will take you now, and stock eliminator. Hot Rod will take you to 1 and 2, stock eliminator, lanes 5 and 6. Tree fires. Both drivers make nice, clean runs. As Troy Williams Jr. left side, Bradenton, Florida, FTI on site. Mickey Thompson, Phantom Dragster, taking on Kevin Trusty. Troy, one of the best to ever do it. Let's go 10 on the Christmas tree. 7:29.5, 182. Trusty goes 7:34.5 at 182 miles an hour. Left side, Chad Axford, Portland, Tennessee. Who knows what car he's in? Taking on Dennis Brown, 21 Nelson, Pro Charge machine over there on the right-hand side. Axford 004. Dennis Brown goes, let's go 054, and the tree goes 6:21.9, 228 miles an hour. Axford goes to the number 3 spot, 7:09, at only 159 mile an hour. We got our final top dragster out there backing up from the burnout. Front engine dragster. Jim, 674.8, 198 miles an hour. Took the long way down the road there. Bet you that thing's fun to drive. As we switch into our hot rod category. Frank Jenkins, left side. Ronald Foss, right. This is our final time run session of the day for our hot rod competitors. Once again, stock eliminator. Stock eliminator will take you lanes 5 and 6, please. Stock eliminator, lanes 5 and 6. Quick rod. Quick rod, we'll take you to lanes 1 and 2, please. Quick rod, lanes 1 and 2. That's Scott Wisen and Pete Maduri. Off and away. .11.04 in the left for Scott. Pete, 10.93, 138 miles an hour. It's not a hateful spot to be in going into Saturday. Wow. Far from Saturday. Thursday. Sean Pitts, left side. Rudy Matthews, right-hand lane. Dennis Napier and Robert Zesko. 12th out red for Napier. Robert, 005. Go down there and try and get as close to 1090 as they can. Oh, both of those drivers did pretty good. 1091.1 for Dennis Napier. Zesko, 1089.1 at 130 miles an hour. Once again, stock eliminator will take you now. Stock eliminator. We'll also take quick rod. Quick rod will take you to the lanes, please, as we're rolling through our final time run session of the day. It's Tim Shuck staging up his 67 Camaro. Turns loose 007. Trips the timers 1089.7 at a $1.29. Quick rod. Quick rod, 890. Quick rod. We'll take you to the lanes, please. Quick rod. We'll take you to the staging lanes, please. We'll also take super stock. Super stock will take you to the lanes, please. Super stock will take you now.
All right, so rolling through our final session here. Day number 1. Darana Raceway, the IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series. Columbus, and we have made the call. Quick Rod and Super Stock. Quick Rod and Super Stock, you need to be in the lanes, please. Quick Rod and Super Stock. All right, stock eliminator rolls to the starting line. Q3 here in category. Steve Kozlowski on the right side, the Richfield, Ohio 66 331 cubic inch Chevrolet, and Dave Battle is going to be alongside the Sunman, Indiana Pontiac Firebird. At J-Stock automatic entry, leaves at 064. Steve's going to be 032. Going by the tree. They close in on the 1,320 foot bar. Steve's going to get there first at 1066. Picks up 200, it's 120. 1156 there, picks up 2 as well for Dave at over 114 miles an hour. Your next pair, left-hand side, that's going to be Josh Decker, C-Stock automatic, big block Corvette. Out of Charlestown, Indiana, and Brian Karate. Brian wheeling his 427 Copo, big block Camaro, and a Medina, Ohio he calls home. So Josh Decker, he's had a pretty good 2025 season so far. He's found the winner's circle a time or two. Brian Karate, well, a top fuel tuner. And they're going to get behind the wheel of a small tire stock eliminator machine, leaves before the second bulb really gets time to activate, throws off his Q3. Josh Decker, 046 and 1073 down to the other end of the racetrack at 112 for Decker off the gas a little early. Now it's going to be Paul Boster and Vance Cummins, your next pair. Right side, the E-Stock automatic, 340 cubic inch Dodge out of Michigan. Takes on the local runner up at Tascala. Paul Boster, a longtime runner, behind the wheel of that red Chevrolet Corvette. Superstock, your attention to the pits. We need Superstock lanes 1 and 2. Superstock lanes 1 and 2. Quick Rod, you should be there. We're about to roll you out. Quick Rod, you should already be there, but we're looking for Superstock to the lanes. 10:54 there for Paul Boster at 1:24. 11:24 the elapsed time. Vance Cummins over there on the Coghlan Automotive side of the racetrack. Your next pair, Rodney Whirl and Brent Derrick. That is the B-Stock clutch car, 350 small block Camaro out of Pennsylvania, and Rodney Whirl, the electrician. Calls home in Belpre, Ohio. Yeah, Cooper Jet Mustang. Blue Oval right side, Chevy Bowtie left side. They meet here in Q3 this afternoon. Brent's been 10:43 and 10:48. Rodney About 9:09 and 9:12. So both drivers out in the way. World's going to be a little tardy on the Christmas tree at 1:30. Brent turns at 0:48. That Ford Mustang's going to get there first. Rodney World, 9:10. Got a very consistent race car at 150 miles an hour, 10:48. Those are the numbers Brent was looking for, I believe, at 1:27. He turned it back down just a bit. Michael Hours and Zach Ross squaring off next. You got Zach left side in that 2010 Challenger, 392 Dodge combination, factory stock D car. And the I crate motor for Michael Hours out of Xenia. Drive about an hour and a half here this weekend. Turns at 11 foul red. Zach Ross at 0:29. There at Mopar, closing in the finish line stripe. It's going to be 985 there for Zach Ross. Hey, look at this, 985.9, 985.2, and 985.3 in qualifying today for Zach. Michael, 1132, 116, and his runs are about 21 foul apart, so another consistent race car. Thomas Loskett going to be on a single run to, I believe, end out the category here in stock. How about 069 there for Loskett? And the end result, 11:06, 117. All right, here it comes. They're out and away. Kinder Reinshield, Tony Collier out and down course. How about 887 here for Kinder after being 004 green at over 170 miles an hour. Collier turns the stops the clock, I should say, 896 here at 180. Next up, Adam Gerber and Steve Taylor. Steve Taylor will be on the left-hand side of the racetrack. National event winner. All right, Troy Williams, T-Rock, and Jason Harding. You got Jason over there on the left side, the triple nickel Chevrolet. His American race car. And Troy, Team Overkill Motorsports, calls home down there in Florida. Spent last weekend at a big money bracket race, made the trip north here this weekend to the IHRA National event, and Troy Williams in Super Comp trim, quick rod trim going 895, 174, 888, 179 miles an hour, Jason Harding. Super Rod, this is a call for you. Super Rod, we need you to lanes 3 and 4, please. Super Rod, lanes 3 and 4. Pat Martin comes off the throttle stop. Trays an asphalt and concrete entry is going to go 879. Quick there for Pat. Nearly 190 miles an hour. 63. Now it's going to be Jamie Elrod and Kevin Trusty squaring off here. You got Kevin and Teresa, the Trusty family out of Groveport, with their Wing Radical Racing entry, and Jamie Elrod, of course, following in the family footsteps, the long legacy of Elrod's and IHRA competition. Finish line stripe, Kevin Trusty going 8 thou red and 897. There's Jamie Elrod, 888, quick by 2 Hun. It's going to be Steve Eckert and Rick Watson now. The car salesman over there on the right-hand side of the racetrack for Team Coughlin Automotive. And Steve Eckert, the Oldsmobile. How about a door car here in Quick Rod? That's cool. 598 cubic inch Chevrolet. $891 there for Eckert, and $890 with a 1. Wow, good run for Rick Watson. He's a down-track throttle stop guy. Easy for me to say. I got all kinds of tongue twisted, but it definitely wasn't as easy a run as I'm trying to talk about. But $891, Steve, $171 to end out Quick Rod right there. Now Kobe Watson, you just seen his dad go down. Rick, here comes his son. Here in Hot Rod trim in 050 green. Dan Funk, car owner, watches on. Finish line stripe, 1082, 123. All right, so this is going to be category of super stock. Kevin Reedy, Jeff Ross coming up next. All right, so Kevin, super stock, B stock, 310 cubic inch blue oval, poured out of Brunswick, Ohio. He's been 992 and 984 here in category, and Jeff Ross, he's got the small tire. Notch over on the left side. 161 to the 172. Reedy going to work on the reaction time side of things as the weekend goes on. And finish line stripe, he will go 10:03, 141. 11:05 here. Ross is going to pick up 300 at 119. Here comes Team PK. PK Race Cars and that Chevy Cobalt. That's Andy Kronebetter over there on the left side, and Kurt Neighbor. Kurt Neighbor, what a cool story about this guy. I found it earlier on in the year at a PDRA race, and his career dates all the way back to the early days of IHRA racing. Former world champ, and runs a Mountain Motor Pro Stock car and also has this Super Stocker. 427, big block 4, and that's a go for Neighbor. I believe he's a former national record holder in category 2. How about 034? And the finish line stripe, Neighbor. 11:10, 79 miles an hour off the gas early. Andy Kronebetter is going to go 9 thou red, 9:57 there on the left side. Buchanan and Earl Rowe. 1 thou red for Buchanan, and that high winding forward moves on down the right side of the racetrack here to run 10:38. No improvement off the earlier 10:36, 128 the speed for Joe. Earl's going to be 18 green and 10:38 at 129. Earl Rowe has varied 1 thou of a second between his two qualifying efforts so far today. Let me try this again. 10:38.6, 10:38.5. Easy for me to say. Next up, Zach Ross. Over there on the left side, 10:35 on index, I believe, with his Dodge. Ross family racer, Chevrolet Camaro not on file currently in the CompuLink timing system. We'll get to that later today. 006 go on the right side, and Camaro's going to run on down 10:01. 981 for Zach Ross. Mark Saunders coming up next, another one of the Team PK race cars, and true with his Cobalt. All right, A.H. Atkins and Danny Smith. A.H. that AMX. Danny has that way cool 67 Plymouth out of Westerville. How about they're out of the way? AH runs through the gears there on the left side. Danny Smith, he's got the automatic Super Stock D entry. 10:17.7, 128 the speed, as AH is going to go 9:20 here, 144. Top Sportsman lanes 5 and 6, please. Attention to the pits. We need Top Sportsman. Top Sportsman lanes 5 and 6. We need you to the staging lanes. So Larry Eagle on the right side. He's got the Calais out of Bethesda, Ohio. This is going to be Larry's first run. TE car, and I'm not sure over there on the left side right now. It's definitely a clutch car. Look at that. Chip of the burnout.
Super Rod rolling out. For their third time trial session. Gary Hardig left side. 68 Camaro taking on Jacob Elrod. C7 Corvette Roadster. Jacob's no stranger to finding the winner's circle. I'm sure he's here to see if he can add on to his Ironman collection. Once again, Top Sportsman. Top Sportsman will take you to the staging lanes, please. For qualifying session number 3. Once again, Top Sportsman. Qualifying session number 3. We'll take you to the lanes, please. Harding turns loose 30. Elrod 13 thou red. Say these guys are ready to go. Hardig 990 with a 4, 161 as Elrod goes 989 4 at 166. Corinne McMillan left side. Paul Richardson. Off and away. Throttle stop on, throttle stop off. Macmillan 986.6, 163 the speed, as Paul Richardson goes 992.9 at 166. As my buddy Derek Beach comes back in and relieves me of my announcing duties. I'm fired. Oh, it's my birthday. He said I can do whatever I want. Steve Theodore, left side. Damian Hazelton, right. 006 for Damian. Steve missed it a tick. That's only a time run. .984, 169 for Steve, as Damian 994.5 at 144 mile an hour. Thomas Dimon, Jeffrey Smith. Jeffrey turns the red light on by 1 foul. Diamond's 25 on the tree. 991.6 for Thomas. Jeffrey 989.8, 157. You guys that are home watching this on TV, thinking about coming out, we're giving all of our Pro-Am competitors another time run in the morning before we kick off eliminations. So you still got time. It's Mark Harmon. Joseph Carbacci. Lawrenceburg, West Virginia. It's probably not Carbacci. 11 in the left lane, 002 in the right. 999.4 for Harmon. Joseph goes 985.8. Pat Martin, Brian Johnson. .988.7, 167 for Pat Martin, as Brian Johnson missed the tune-up a little bit. Or maybe that's what he was just setting up. 976.5, 146 mile an hour. Once again, top sportsman, top sportsman. Qualifying session number 3. We will take you to the staging lanes, please. That's Carl Bestenwald, John Sickish. .997.6 for Carl Bestenwald is Sickish. 984, 174. The puppy's got some steam out there. Rich Pika and Ronald Brady. Rolling down the racetrack here. Pika, 980, 147 miles an hour, as Ronald Brady goes 989.7, 158. Ronald's got the car dialed in. We have our last Super Rod competitor. Getting ready to roll into the pre-stage, Morgan Napier. Double 0-1 red. 990 with the 9. Nice lap. And that'll put the lid on Super Rod for today. Gonna do a little track shuffle out there. We got top Sportsman in the lanes. Top Dragster will take you now, please. Top Dragster.
Each week on Speed Sport 1, get the very best in grassroots racing with Prime Cuts. Every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll serve up a new episode.
And around goes the 9, and we're going to pile them up.
From coast to coast and all points in between.
3 wide off of turn 2.
Prime Cuts is choice racing action cut down to the very best.
Oh, great. And oh, holy goodness!
Join us for new episodes, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on Speed Sport 1. Speed Sport 1 has racing 24/7.
Double trouble. Lost the right front hard.
Each week, find new episodes of Prime Cuts, grassroots racing from America's short tracks.
Oh, look out, one upside down into turn number 1.
Speed Sport 1 is the place to satisfy that itch for racing.
Checker's gonna wave, who's it gonna be?
Go to speedsport1.com for a complete guide to what's coming your way next. Speed Sport 1, the live racing network. Monday Mayhem is on Speed Sport 1. Every Monday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Things get a little crazy. We've got some of the best demolition derby action from across the country. Figure 8 racing, enduro racing, and anything else that takes you to the unusual side of motorsports.
Oh, no! And they both go!
Monday Mayhem is on Speed Sport 1. It's free to watch. Go to speedsport1.com for details and viewing options.
Top Dragster. Top Dragster. Take you to the staging lanes, please. Lanes 1 and 2. Top Dragster. Qualifying session number 3. Top Sportsman, if you're not here, we'll take you now also. So once again, Top Sportsman, Top Dragster, we'll take you to the lanes for your final qualifying session of the day. Once again, we will have one more time run / qualifying session in the morning for all of our Pro-Am competitors before we roll into eliminations. So once again, Top Sportsman, Top Dragster. Finishing up the track prep now. Should be able to roll you out any minute. If you have not been down the racetrack today and you're looking to do so, you can bring your cars to lanes 5 and 6, give a cleanup session out there. So once again, if you haven't been down the racetrack yet today, and you would like to make a time run, go ahead and bring your car to lane 5 and 6, and we'll get you down the racetrack.
All right, so Top Sportsman rounds the bend, and they will come out for session number 3. Tony Wilson for Greenbrier Excavating and Paving. Bring that machine to life. Drive the coals home down there in North Carolina. Driving for Alan O'Brien this weekend. See Patrick Barnhill out in front of the race car. Be on the keyboard. All right, so Tony, single run here on the right side. I believe they are doing a little R&D testing. See Alan walk away. Patrick's out in front of the race car guiding Tony into that pre-stage beam.
A little late on the chutes there.
7:08 there, 154 off the gas early for Tony Wilson. Coming up next, Chris Osborne. That's the Chevrolet Camaro for Team Pack Racing Springs. And Jimmy Fallon's going to be alongside. Burnouts are complete. Chris Osborne has seen some success here in Columbus in the past, has been in the winner's circle with that very race car, and Jimmy Fallon, a long-time competitor in the Top Sportsman field. Seen some different rides over the years. This balloon first-gen Camaro, you see Summit side. So the top bulb's lit for Chris. Jimmy pulls up, gets ready to turn that thing loose. Session number 3 here on Top Sportsman this afternoon. To a 22 of the reaction time. They close into the quarter-mile stripe. 6:37 there, 220 miles an hour. Jimmy Fallon. Chris Osborne goes 6:69, 2:04 the speed. So Fallon's going to be number 1. Chris Osborne to number 2. Dwayne Rice, Mark McDonald, and Tony Wilson rounds out your top 5 here in Top Sportsman. Speaking of Dwayne Rice, he's the driver you see rolling in the water box next. That is Team Excalibur Racing Engines. I will say, while we are in the Top Sportsman, I do want to say thoughts and prayers, especially out to Marvin Blaney. And I know many of you, if you're watching on our live feed through Speed Sport or was it here at the racetrack, obviously there was a on-track incident in that second session with Marvin, a gruesome fire. And Marvin was transported to a medical facility for further evaluation. The statement was released, of course, on our social media pages. And thoughts and prayers to Marvin, his wife, their entire family for a recovery there. So Dwayne Rice, Grove City. I think back a few years ago, you've seen this guy a lot on tour in the IHRA. Ran some pro stock and Top Sportsman. I think he even had a top dragster ride at one point. Now he is been running Mountain Motor Pro Stock a bit. Of course, when you're on your own backyard, you got to make a stop. Right here at the IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series, as we are winding down day number 1. Dwayne's going to run through the gears, right-hand side. How about 643 there, 215 miles an hour. Great improvement off the earlier 676 for Dwayne Rice to the top of the racetrack. Your attention out in the pit area, please. We have a cleanup session. If you are wanting another run, if you have not made your 3 efforts down the racetrack today, we have a cleanup session, 1 through 3. All right, top dragster, Howard Michael, Jacob Elrod pulls into the water box. You got Jacob Elrod We're here on the right side. Sunoco, their American race car, 632 cubic inch. Chevrolet for power. Now the Elrod camp in 719. And Howard Michael. Team out of Michigan. Diamond built race car. Away 10 to a 27. Better to let go, and qualifying goes to Howard Michael and 1,320 foot mark, 724. The end result for Michael at 179. Jacob Elrod goes to the other end at 7.208. 184.17 the numbers there. The Coghlan Automotive side of the racetrack for Jacob Elrod, number 4, and Michael's number 5. It's going to be Jeff Smith. Kendallville, Indiana coming up next. The Mullisville race car here on the left side. So Jeff Smith staged and ready. Look for that bottom bulb. He's going to have to take an extra bump to get in. Oh boy. There he is. Not for sure we're going to see a red light on that left-hand side. Out and away they go, 35, and Smith's going to stop the clock, 7:02. 188 the speed, 7 flat. 187 on the right side. Team FTI coming up next. That's Troy Williams. Phantom, Florida. Of course, Overkill Motorsports, FTI on site. List of sponsors on board. They've been 730 and 729 in the two previous hits in qualifying. Going to be 32. Oh boy. That doesn't look good. So Williams coast on to the finish line at 9:10. So right now, Jim Promozic Sr. Bring the front engine dragster back to the starting line. Currently your number 2 qualifier, 674. Over 198. Previous session. So Jim Promozic, going to guide him up to the starting line. The team has 692 back in Q1. Little driving job in Q2 using that right side of the racetrack. And he's going to make Q3 here. Final hit of the day. It's top dragster. Winding down to the end. Promozic's car out and away, 117 on the reaction time, and the summit side scoreboard, 677, 199 the speed for Jim Promozic. All right, Frank Jenkins will be the final run of the day. Gallia-based Pontiac. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. start time. Hot Rod's going to be first out, followed by Stock, Quick Rod, Super Stock, Super Rod, Top Sportsman, Top Dragster, and then we'll go into opening ceremonies. We'll have round number 1 after that. Our schedule for tomorrow is posted on IHRA.com and our social media sites if you are wanting to check that out. But at 8:30 a.m. start time tomorrow. And we will conclude this Wednesday afternoon here at Darana Raceway. Day number 1 of the IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series. And I'll tell you this, thank you to each and every one of you that has rolled through the gates to support the return of IHRA Championship drag racing. Transformation we have seen here in a very short amount of time. Darana Raceway, been remarkable, and improvements are just going to keep coming. Hats off to our track crew here, all of our IHRA staff, safety teams. Like I said, each and every one of you racer crew members came through the gate. We will see everybody tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. start time. And, of course, prayers, well wishes going out to Marvin Blaney.